Hey, it's Ryan with QLZ. We've got a guy returning that we talked to a couple months ago, Adam, drummer from Pistols at Dawn. How you doing, sir? It's good to see you.
What's up? What's up, my brother? It's so good to see you, and we cannot wait. We cannot wait to come to Springfield and the Danenberger, the vineyard. We're just this show has been circled on our list.
Mhm.
It's the last show for us for the year, and you can rest assured that we're going to leave it all there. That's all I can tell you.
And I'm excited for it. It's funny. You and I talked a little bit before we got going. Also, it's snowing here. I heard something crashing. I don't know if my dog jumped off something or if there's snow fall. I don't feel like we got enough snow. Or if somebody delivered. I haven't gotten the front porch shoveled off yet. So I'm like, hopefully nobody's delivering mail and just fell over in my driveway. Hopefully none of that happened. But you and I were chatting, kind of, this being one of the last shows of the year. We're out at Danenberger Family Vineyards. That show December 11th. Tickets are free. We've had listeners ask us, be like, do we need a ticket in advance? Like, do we need anything physical to bring in? I'm like, you don't. You just bring yourself. Doors 5:30, show at 7:30. If people want to make donations, we are raising money. This is a benefit show that we're doing for the American Cancer Society. It's you guys and Velvet Chains. You said you're like, man, a vineyard, like this is interesting. So have you guys ever played a vineyard show before? Is this first time out at a winery?
We played some interesting spots around the world,
Hmm.
but I can genuinely tell you when we got the word that we were going to play a vineyard, you think vineyard, you're like Sonoma, you Napa and
Hmm.
beautiful hills, and then I'm like, well, it's kind of the middle of winter, and we're in Illinois, and how is that going to go down at a vineyard? And so we're really excited to see what's going on there, and we're wondering how good the wine is.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I enjoy it. I bought a bottle for my sister-in-law. We're doing a wine swap for Christmas. I bought a bottle, and then we've got some clients and stuff that are getting bottles of wine from us. I took my parents out there a couple of months ago, and me being Italian, I'm a wine fan, so I think you guys will enjoy it. So
Oh, we're stoked. We're stoked.
yeah.
It's just you totally unique. It's totally
Hmm.
unique that y'all have access to a vineyard for these types of shows. You mentioned some of the other hot bands that have played there, Power Man and Plush and Buck Cherry and whatnot, and we're just honored, and I can genuinely tell you, we just got back from Europe. We did 13 countries, 18
Hmm.
cities, and then 15 cities before that in three other countries. So after all that, I can tell you that we're primed and ready. Our set's a serious rock show. Last time we were in your town, actually, which was 2 years ago, we were chatting about.
Yeah.
We did a little radio. We did a little acoustic show coming out of the pandemic. We were one of the only bands in America that was touring around doing acoustic
Hmm.
shows right out of the pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic, and we remember that show very well. And the fact that we're coming back literally 2 years later to headline and really put on a great show for your listeners and everyone there in Springfield and in the area around there, it's just an honor for us. And just expect a full rock show. Like, we don't mess around. They will get everything. People may hear free show, people may hear charity show, this, that, the other. And number one, it's free. Number two, it's going to an amazing cause to help cure cancer. And number three is they haven't seen what we're going to bring. And I can genuinely tell you, and not egotistically or egomaniacally or
Hmm.
anything like that, but shit, man, we are going to throw down, and it's going to be a party.
That's what I'm excited about. It's you, like I said, you guys in Velvet Chains. You guys were here a little bit before I was at QLZ doing the acoustic thing, which is fun. It's cool. You get the intimate settings and you get up close and whatnot. This show you can get up close. You can get right up on the stage for you guys. Velvet Chains was here over the summer, and they did an acoustic thing, and we had people that I know of. We've had a lot of listeners I know that come out to both that have enjoyed the acoustic setting, but it's like trying, letting people know, like, this is now 100% plugged in. It's a normal rock show, like, so you're getting a normal rock show for free and everything plugged in. And like you said, it's the last. And I'll talk to I'm talking to Nils later on today too with Velvet, and I don't know if December 11th is their last show of the year as well. But to me, there's something exciting about taking in like the first show of a year of a tour, because you kind of like, yeah, this is the exciting thing, this is the first night, and I think the last night as well, because it's like you said, you're literally leaving everything else out there. There's no point to take anything back with
You said it, and I genuinely feel that we're so excited about that. I mean, we're our guys are they're actually in the reason they're not on right now is they're actually in our sprinter right now heading towards Nebraska for our first show of this radio holiday tour, and we're juiced up, we're ready to go tomorrow night. But honestly, we're looking most forward to your show, to play the Vineyard, to play for such an amazing cause, to play for such great people 2 years later after, we have a history there. And for them to actually see and feel what we're going to bring and the show we're going to put on. It's not like we just get up there and we play a bunch of songs and howdy doody, blah, 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 good night. I don't give a shit. I don't know if I can say that, but
You're good. Sorry, you're good.
I don't care if they give if when we play shows, if someone gives us 20 minutes or they give us an hour and 20 minutes,
Mhm.
we're going to put on a full rock show, meaning your listeners are going to see something they aren't accustomed to, perhaps with a band like us. And we're a lot different than 2 years ago. We might be just a little bit better
Yeah.
and polished, call it what you will. We feel like we're playing the best music of our lives. We're playing the best we've ever played in our lives. And the show we actually put on is pretty damn special. And to play it for y'all there, we will lay it down like it's the last night of our lives. Because honestly, from Springfield and where the Vineyard is, New Berlin, I believe it is,
Yes. Yep.
we're gonna go home and pass out for the rest of the year. So this is it for us. So yes, last night of our lives, if we're gonna play it like it is.
There you go. And you mentioned Europe, and I think you guys went to Europe. I think about a week and a half after we talked back in September. I haven't caught up on all the tour vlogs of everything yet. I took in a few of them because I knew when we talked last time, you're like the three goofballs that are in this band with you, and I use the word goofballs in a very loving way because they're serious when it needs to be, but like if you watch the videos and if you watch the guys that were on the entire band was on last time, there's some questions you're like, dude, I'm just gonna let these guys handle it. How was Europe like playing in front of those crowds over there and just kind of taking in some different cultures, like you said, what 15 or 13 countries?
Yeah, so
How many countries?
so our last two tours were in Europe and the UK, and so altogether, I think we played 15 different countries. We played like 30 different cities, 40 different cities throughout, and it was amazing. I mean, it was amazing. The love and passion and energy for music over there is infectious, and like our first show was in Germany on this last tour, and our last show was in Prague. And from the first show to the last show, practically every room was packed. The energy was ridiculous. People knew our music. People were singing every tune, and if they weren't, they would come to multiple shows, learn the songs, and then be singing every single tune. Uh, it's special. It's America is special, Europe is special, and it's just something over there in the water. I don't know what it is, but they come to party like big. We were over in Germany for Oktoberfest. We played one of the nights of
Oh my god, yeah.
Oktoberfest in Munich, and it was absurd. I mean, the room was completely slammed. We went out with a great band called Des Rocks,
Yeah.
and Danny, their lead singer, Des, he's just on another planet, talented, and we just had a really great connection between all the bands on the tour, and the energy was just stupid every single night. The driving's a grind in Europe. It's not like the United States. We literally had to drive 10, 12, 13 hours between multiple shows. We had to go through Germany 6 times. I mean, it was a total grind, but we got to play
Yeah.
places like Hungary, places like
Mhm.
Poland. We played in the center of Paris. We played in the center of London. We played in Wales multiple times. Like, it's just special. That's all I can say. And when we got back, we were exhausted, but we were ready to go. And we knew this
Yeah.
was coming up, and we had talked to you, and so it was kind of like, okay, this is good. Let's go get some rest, so we can just literally just go eviscerate it. And honestly, you're getting us at the best time because we had such a great time over there, but it was such a grind also with the travel. That now this last tour, this really isn't a grind for us. This is just pure, unadulterated fun, and your show is like the
Mhm.
cherry on top at the end.
I don't know, I'm excited. Like I told you, I'm excited to get you guys here because I think I've been like 28 shows this year or something like that, and my goal was to at least get to like 15 this past year. And I was like, oh, I can have a chance with you guys. I got the chance to double that. We talked about Not Sorry last time and kind of like what the track meant, and I know John shared some stuff about it and whatnot. And now we're seeing the song. It's getting into the top 40 on radio. It's a tune we've been playing since you
Today,
guys.
top 40
Today, yeah, yep.
today. We're so excited.
So So you guys have had some songs that have kind of like gone into this top 40. They've kind of flirted with it. So kind of like seeing this song, and I feel like for the rest of the year, because people don't realize like in a week and a half, everything in the music industry kind of shuts down. So a lot of times, like what you're playing, you're not going to jump off of it or whatever else. So kind of like, what's it been like watching this song's journey? Because I mean, dude, we have Linkin Park reunions this year. We have 3 Days Grace, surprise. Adam Gontier's back in. Offspring, see there's so many massive bands this year, especially in the last kind of like quarter of the year. We've seen a lot of just like massive bands getting stuff out there. But you guys are going through the traffic. You're climbing on through. You're grinding, like you mentioned. You guys are grinding on the chart as well. Kind of what's the journey been like, at least with this song, the radio so
It's been a tough grind. It's been an
far?
incredible journey. And today was honestly one of the, and it's funny, literally in the last hour, I just got word from our team that we got it. And it's been rough, man, getting here because like you said, there's so many of the biggest bands, biggest legacy acts in the world that have come out with sick music this year, that have reunited. And anytime, and what people don't seem to understand is anytime a big band, one of these big acts reunites, puts out new music, it automatically jumps everybody, generally
Yeah,
speaking. And there's been so much of that, and so many great releases from so many great bands this year. And what people also don't realize that today in the top 40, there's one unsigned band in the entire top 40 in America, and that is Pistols at Dawn.
yeah,
And we take great pride in that. We've had offers, we've talked with various labels and this, that, and the other, and we're just waiting for the right situation. And we feel very confident that we'll get exactly what we want because we want to play and have the most fun and play for the people the most. That's the most important thing to us, is get out there and play and really put out the best music. But it's been a grind. We put it out, and it's so funny because we recorded this in January. We recorded it in January, moved to LA, lived in LA in a house, had the whole experience, did the recording. You go through all the post production and all the publicity and all the other stuff. Months and months go by. Finally, we can put out the track. We decided to go with Not Sorry. It was received exceptionally well, but legacy act, legacy act, legacy act, and you just grind and you just grind and you just grind. And fortunately, we went on tour and we just played and we just played and we just played. And you just keep going and you keep going. And I guess the biggest piece of advice I could give any band trying to make it in America, is just put your head down and work. It is a grind. There's nothing easy about this industry.
yeah.
And that's why today is such a rewarding day, because honestly, we're back to back to back media based top 40. And with our last 3 tracks that we sent to radio. And this one is particularly special to us because of the lineup that we have, and the goofballs that I play with, and the amazingness that went on in the studio to create Not Sorry. And I remember putting the drums on it in Nashville in a special studio. And it's just the culmination of everything, and who we worked with and how we got here. And today is just special. And I think we're just going to be in a real celebratory mood on this tour.
And I mean, like I said, I'm excited. I saw that today. You guys jumped quite a bit. You saw like because I can see how many spins a song increases, and you guys are one of the biggest ones on their
Yeah.
industry. And coming out of a holiday weekend, which is cool as well. Like we just came out of massive holiday weekend, and like you mentioned, like these legacy acts, like you get excited for them because like I do. Like I mean, I've been a 3 Days Grace fan since I was in high school, and a Linkin Park fan since I was 14. But there's something special as well when like guys like you and guys like in Velvet Chains, bands that we're gonna have here. You see some of these bands kind of cut on through because there is going to be a next generation of bands at some point, next generation of
We,
rock. I think that's what's exciting.
yeah, and to be completely honest with you, we feel that we're a part of that next generation.
Mhm.
We feel that we're a significant part of it. And it's kind of like, we came out there into Springfield. I remember the bar, I remember the room, I remember everything
Mhm.
about our visit there. And that was two years ago. I mean, that's a lot of life. you know. And it's just to see where we are now, and we're going to really give you our very much more significant rock show this time, and it's kind of coming full circle, and hopefully 2 years from now we'll be playing the nearest arena nearby.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. And then what I like to tell people too with these shows like this, and we've done some shows this year, like I said, we've done some cool stuff with Danenberger where they've gotten some, bigger acts out there, like it was packed for Buck Cherry and, really, really nice crowd for Power Man and whatnot, and getting to see some of these bands that have been doing it for a while. But like getting the chance to see like you guys and the people that came out to the Plush show and everything else, like you're front row. Like, Plush, there's the stage, there's the barricade, and then there's you. Like you're seeing an act that is climbing. Like I feel like you guys in Velvet, you guys are two acts that are climbing. I try to tell people this on the air all the time. Like we play both these bands. Like maybe you're not 100% familiar with them yet, but they're bands we've been spinning now for a while. Like go check out more from them. Like I'll do more stuff on the air here the next week with you guys and with Velvet and whatnot, and highlight some more of the tunes. But it's just like get out now before you don't know. Like look at Sleep Theory this year. Sleep Theory blew up in a year, and you're probably not going to get up close to those guys a whole lot anymore. So get out when they can see you guys like right up close and interact, and people aren't going to maul you going to the merch table.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny that you mentioned that. Some of the best shows I don't know, I'm sure you've ever seen and I've ever seen are those really special nuggets where you got to see the band 3 feet away from you, and you got to really experience what it felt like to be near the singer and be a part of the show. And I think that that's why shows like this are so awesome, is because we and that's how we look at it. We look at it as this is a special moment in everyone's life who's there to watch the show. We're not there just to slog through another show. We're there to give them an experience that they can take with them for the rest of their lives. I don't want any one of our shows to be completed without people coming to us being like, dude, that's going to affect me forever. That's how we build our shows. That's how we play our shows. It doesn't matter whether I'm having a bad day, a good day, the guys are having bad days or good days. We're going to play in a way it's going to where people can truly feel it. And being this close now to us, I would take advantage. Come on, because we're going to do everything possible. So we're playing the massive shows down the road. Because we want to play in front of 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people a night. That's the dream, and that's why we're doing this. But to be completely honest with you, the most fun shows for us, and it was in Europe. We played shows where there were a couple thousand people in huge rooms, and you weren't really intimate. But the best shows in Europe recently were the ones where, like in Prague, at the very last night of the show, literally, I think we were playing like a 400 or 500 cap room, and it was packed to the brim. And literally, the people were literally like a foot away from us, and the energy in the room was so thick, it was insane, and everybody had the best time because of that.
Yeah, and I love those kind of shows. I got to ask you, any subtle hints you can drop as we're chatting today? Last time you mentioned Obsessed, which is another track that you guys have out right now as well.
Obsession.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
yes. That's what you told me you're going to be obsessed. That's my bad. Any other subtle hints that you can just kind of throw in here at this point? I was going to ask you, be like, I'm really going to pay attention when Adam talks, because it's like there might be a word or something in here that maybe I've seen somewhere that maybe. What do you guys? Or the best thing too, maybe for 2025 for you guys. What do you guys have a plan out for what you want to do music wise and whatnot? Kind of what 2025 plans can you share?
Yeah, it's so funny. We literally have so much of 25 mapped out already. I'd say there's going to be a lot more touring in the United States. We'll definitely be coming through your area in Illinois a ton. Our goal is to play as many shows in the United States in 25 as we possibly can, especially in the United States, since we played so much in Europe in 24. But what I would say to you is that the interesting thing about Not Sorry is that we always loved it, when we wrote it. Like, it was such a cool song. We were so excited about it. We felt like we had something special. But there's some others. There are other songs. We have a whole album ready, and you just have to go through what the industry, there's certain
Yeah.
industry rules and when we can put things out, and how much publicity we have to do, and radio and this, that, the other. And to us, we just want everybody to hear it now. Well, what I can say to you is, at this show we're going to play most of the new album. And it doesn't matter whether you know it or you don't. I assure you, by the end of the show, you will love it. I guarantee that. Hold me to it. Number two, so you will get to hear the majority of the new album, which is absolutely the best music we have ever played in our lives. And the energy is insane. Number two, I would say that in 25, we're dealing with a lot of industry stuff, executives and this, that, the other right now. But we will definitely have a lot of new music coming out. One of the new tracks that you may see, I'll just go ahead and say it. One of the new tracks
Yep.
you may see is called Bones. You may
Okay.
see a song called Bones come out, and we're beyond excited about this. It was one of our favorite songs to write on the entire album. We have the video ready. We have everything, all the art ready. It's just one of those. It's the song that's going to take you back. It's nostalgic. It's going to take you back. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear Bones in Illinois in a week, and it's going to be. You're going to hear it. You're going to be like, when does that come out? Because it's going to bring you back. I don't know. It just makes you have the feels.
Mhm.
It gives you kind of the power poppy feels that you may have had back in the day. And it's a really special song to us. Honestly, we want to put out at least 3 or 4 singles, if not the rest of the album in
Okay.
25. So that's definitely coming. We have named the album now. I can't give it away, but it's
Awesome,
pretty
man.
freaking cool. And it really, it talks about life, and really
Mhm.
just taking advantage of what you have, and experiencing the best in life, stuff like that. And which is really says a lot about us. And yeah, I think it will be on radio nonstop. There's no end in sight is kind of what I'm saying. Just get prepared, because the next music that's coming out, interestingly, one of the next tracks that's coming out is going to be a ballad. I can just go ahead and tell you.
Okay.
One of the tracks is going to be a ballad, and we're not going to apologize. We wrote a really sweet, beautiful kind of wedding song, and it's beautiful. And it's going to come out in early 25, and
Okay.
we hope people really enjoy it. And it hopefully will bring people back to those moments where you really wanted to slow dance with someone and just have an all night evening with someone and push repeat.
Okay. Like how nice has it been? And you guys talked about this a lot last time when you were on. Like you've got the lineup, that you want. And you said you're like you're not throwing shit at anybody else who's ever been in the band before, but this feels like the nucleus of what you wanted in this band. So how nice is it to just be able to discuss things like new music, touring? Hey, these are our plans. Like having plans laid out, knowing that this is what you've got going forward. Like how just nice for you, because you're the business. You told me you're the business guy. You take care. This is why you're doing the interview today, and the other guys aren't, because they're 16 hours traveling to Nebraska right now. So for you being the business guy, the brains of behind a lot of this stuff, like how nice is it just to be able just to discuss plans and a lot of just here's what's coming up, and having a route of where you guys are going to go here in the next year or so.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I would say that, like most bands, we've been through our trials and tribulations. We've gone through our members with drugs and alcohol, and babies and family issues and this, that, mental health issues and everything else. And you got to pay your dues in this industry, and we have. And to have a unit where we can just be and just enjoy and just look forward to spending time together. Honestly, like we were together 30 nights in 30 hotels, 30 days traveling in Europe recently, and there wasn't a day of tension. There wasn't a day of
That's nice.
frustration. Yeah, I mean, I remember in London we had a technical issue on stage. No sweat. We fixed it in 3 minutes.
Mhm.
We riffed, and and it was no issue. I mean, we don't stress. The music industry is hard enough. I will tell you that. And to know that we have it took a long time to get to where we had this lineup right, the music right, the playing right, the live show right, and we have the team right. The team is also very difficult. Managers and marketing managers and publicists and all this other stuff you have to get at this level. And to have it all going into 25, and everyone on our team and everyone in the band and all of our family members, everybody's just so excited. The energy's so great. And what's even better is that we know the music that's in the bag already, meaning we've only put out 2 songs from the new album, and only one of them's gone. We've only put one at radio so far. And if you've listened to Obsession, which we teased last time with you, we haven't gone to radio with it yet. We're still at Not Sorry. But Obsession's dope. Listen to it before you come to this Illinois show. Like it is a banger. It's very different than Not Sorry. They're very different songs, which makes it super cool. And there's going to be even more different types of songs you're going to hear on the new album. But to have it all going into 25 and to know what you're about to see and hear coming into 25, and to have our team together and our families together and a great vibe, I can genuinely tell you that the enthusiasm is infectious, and we're going to make it the biggest, sickest 25 ever.
It's awesome. Now I gotta bug you for one outside the box question. I know last time you didn't, you're like, the other guys can handle this. Do you have any, like, because I'm gonna ask our listeners this too, because I want to know, like, I kind of like looking back. We did this last year. We do our Q question stuff. Do you have any like songs that stick out to you from this year, like any of your favorite album stuff that was like released in 2024? Like anything stick out to you, or like, man, I was really digging this or really digging that from other bands?
From other bands.
Yeah, like
From other
anything where you're
bands.
like, man, I mean, obviously, like anything where you're like, man, I really, this was one of my favorite albums from this year. This is one of my favorite songs that this band put out this year. Anything that sticks with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, number one, personally, I would tell you that watching Gojira play that song during the Olympics,
Yeah,
whatever the name, I don't know if you probably know the name of that song.
I can, but I can't pronounce it.
Whatever the
Yeah,
name of that song is they played during the Olympics. Watching that was one of the best
yeah.
Olympic moments I've ever seen in my entire, or live TV music moments of my life. And the energy that they brought while the woman was holding the head and singing, I mean, just being there on the water, that will stick with me forever. And then even better than that was that then right after that they went on tour. They came to Atlanta, where we're from, and opened for Korn. And the night before we went to Europe recently, right after our interview with you, we went to this Gojira Korn concert. Gojira goes on tour with Korn, and I'm sure Korn took Gojira because they knew Gojira would bring a massive audience, which it did. And I have no idea why they toured with
Yeah.
Korn other than for the money and for the ease of the touring. Maybe they just didn't want to bring their whole production to America. I'm not sure. But all I can tell you was that they brought, hands down, probably the best metal show of 24 to open for Korn. Like the opening act, like I love Korn. Korn's amazing. Korn's iconic.
Mhm.
Korn plays some of the best shows I've ever seen. Gojira, it was epic. I mean, I have no words for what they did on stage, and that really stood out in 24. And when they played that song for the Olympics, I mean, it was just it was just took me to another planet. And my other guys would tell you, especially my singer John, goofball number one, he would tell you. Sleep Token. I mean,
Yeah.
he. If Sleep Token was a religion, he is a parishioner, and he is going to be there following them. And actually, we're gonna. What are we doing? One of the things we're doing at the show, I think he's gonna do an acoustic solo song for
Okay.
y'all. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but I think it might be his version of a Bring Me the Horizon song. I think that's going to be super
Really?
cool.
Okay.
They stood out. They stood out big time. I don't know. There were so many. There were so many great acts in 24. Obviously, Linkin Park getting back together at the end. What a surprise! I don't know. Um, you know. What about you? Anything good?
I mean, having Adam Gontier back in 3 Days Grace for me is huge. Like, I mean,
There you go.
I do like the Linkin Park stuff. There, to me, I think Emily does a really, really good job. There's still, and I enjoy, and I like the record. There's still something for me that's still missing from it, and that's going to be my own thing to get over. But I think having Adam
It's a
back
new band.
in 3 Days
It's a
Grace,
new band.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think having Adam back in 3 Days Grace for the first time in 12 years, and then kind of like deep cut, like Ryan McCombs being in Drowning Pool, their first new song with Ryan in 13 years for Drowning Pool. Because I bet I was a big Soil fan growing up. Obviously, Drowning Pool was a huge band when I was a teenager and whatnot. So I feel like kind of having some of these kind of like reunions back this year. That's kind of the biggest. I mean, there's a ton of great songs and everything too, and I love doing their spotlight and things like that. But like for me, teenage Ryan being like, okay, Linkin Park is doing stuff. Adam's back in 3 Days Grace, and Ryan McCombs and Drowning Pool doing stuff. So it was a lot of nostalgia for me this year overall.
Let me tell you, the 3 Days Grace move to keep both singers, frontmen, I thought was one of the classiest, coolest moves in music this year. So many bands fight and go nuts, break up, this, that, the other, fire one guy, keep the other. You know, when Gontier played with them at that show, I forget what show it was. You knew it wasn't over there, and the fact that they were able to work together to keep both guys and be an even stronger band, you know what I mean? It just I think it says the world for them, and I'm excited to really hear what they bring to the table and how their live show is with two lead singers, because they're already a great band. Now they could be a powerhouse band.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's like we have this kind of experience stuff. Yeah, to me, like you've got kind of these experiences this year, which for me has made things really, really exciting. But Adam, you guys, like I said, man, you guys, Velvet Chains here, Wednesday, December 11th, Danenberger Family Vineyards. That show is absolutely free. It's December 11th. It's a Wednesday evening, but we're getting things rolling at 7:30. Couple-hour show, and raising money for the American Cancer Society. Details, WQLZ.com, and a lot more stuff from you guys on the way. So, Adam, I appreciate the time, sir. Thank you.
Let me tell you, we're just so excited. Such a great cause. It's free. You're going to see an incredible show, and WQLZ putting this together. We're just grateful. We look forward to it all, and we'll see you next Wednesday.